This 2-meter marine arthropod was found in Morocco in 2011. The remains of the monster looked like a completely inconspicuous boulder in which paleontologists discerned Aegirocassis, an extinct animal with spikes on its back and a pair of legs. But as it turned out later, the remains were poorly cleaned of dust, which concealed a few more nuances of the animal's appearance. Archaeologists discovered that there was something like gills growing on Aegirocassis' back. Its mouth was surrounded by 2 appendages for filtering food, and it turned out to have 2 pairs of legs. But who knows, even if they had cleaned the fossil even more thoroughly, they could have found even more limbs, and it would have turned out that in reality, Aegirocassis looked like this. Images of ancient animals created by paleontologists and artists are still very symbolic and inaccurate. So in this video, we'll create more plausible portraits of the strangest extinct animals. And then you'll know which dinosaur had human hands, which fish became a bird, and most importantly, we'll define which extinct animals looked even creepier than we thought. By the way, one of the animals in the video was invented by me. Can you guess which one? Kneel down because you're looking at a crowned crocodile. This is how the name of Estemmenosuchus, the owner of this skull, is translated from ancient Greek. But for some reason, artists depict it as a killer hippo with horns and fangs. Based on its description by paleontologists, Estemmenosuchus looked more like a modern cow, except that it had shorter legs, a crocodile's tail, weird horns on its head and cheeks, clawed paws, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. This way, it looks a little funny, but still scary. There's nothing to be afraid of, though. The animal used its horns not as weapons, but as protection from predators. And those sharp forward-pointing teeth were probably used for eating cycads and conifers. This proves that Estemmenosuchus was something of a harmless cow, not the monster depicted by artists. In addition, scientists believe that in the course of evolution, Estemmenosuchus also acquired fur. It's like a stuffed animal, which cannot be said about extinct animals that look much more terrifying in reality than in illustrations. If you have thalassophobia, the fear of swimming because something can grab hold of your leg, I'm warning you, don't be afraid of the next creature. After all, it's already extinct. Ready? This is Nothosaurus. It looks like an ordinary lizard. Artists depicted it with a long neck, webbed feet, and sharp teeth. Until 2014, we were presented with the image of Nothosaurus as a 3-meter-long dinosaur, which is almost twice the height of an average person. However, later, paleontologists discovered the same creature in China, but that specimen had reached 7 meters. Nothosaurus was one of the first animals that could live in the sea and come up on land at the same time. How did it manage to do that? Thanks to the nostrils that have to be added to its image. That's what Nothosaurus could look like. It's a good thing it's gone extinct, because a monster like that would definitely smell you a kilometer away from the beach. But you'll probably like the next monster. This skeleton was found in the Indian Ocean near Mauritius Island. It belonged to a member of an ancient fish order, Monkeydactyl, that lived 250 million years ago. The animal measured a whopping 11 meters in length, and thanks to its jaw, rich in sharp teeth, it could even feed on sharks. But what made me think you'd like that monster? Look at this skull. Does that ring any bells? That's a beak, and it's not the same as that of a sea turtle. It's like the beak belonging to the much-loved dodo bird that lived in the same region. Scientists suggest that the dodo and Monkeydactyl shared a common ancestor. It's just that part of its species remained in the water, and another part moved to dry land where it evolved. But why was it depicted without wings? After all, even nowadays, we can find the owners of something like feathers among the underwater inhabitants. And if Lumilipodococus was related to a bird, it's entirely possible that at some transitional stage, it might have looked like this. However, this version is categorically disproved by scientists. But they've been wrong about that far more than once. At first glance, skeletal drawings of dinosaurs such as Tian Yulong and Concavenator are not surprising. These are your usual stereotypical dinosaurs, long tails, toothy maws, and short arms. But scientists have noticed something unusual about these two. Examination of the remains showed that there were some filaments on the underside of Tian Yulong's neck, back, and tail, and Concavenator had small bumps on its forearm bones, which probably had some appendages on them. Researchers are pretty sure that these are nothing but primitive protofeathers. Scientists suspect that Tian Yulong and Concavenator may be very distant relatives of ancient birds. But why would they need such a heritage if these demo feathers don't look like wings at all? I mean, they couldn't even lift dinosaurs into the air. Paleontologists didn't find an answer to this question, so they just agreed that it's a blind branch of feather evolution. But we know that nothing happens for no reason when it comes to nature. What if the feathers of these dinosaurs were full-fledged? Then Tian Yulong and Concavenator wouldn't be anything like plucked hens as depicted by artists. They'd rather look like large and beautiful ancient birds. But if paleontologists had heard of my suggestion, there would have been a heated debate because it's their favorite hobby to argue about the appearance of found remains. If scientists didn't expect to see feathers on Tian Yulong, they certainly didn't anticipate seeing one real flying pterosaur with human hands. Let me explain. So, what you're looking at now is the earliest known animal that could move its thumb freely, just like we and the other primates do. So, the dinosaur was nicknamed Monkeydactyl. I'm sure if there were a way to sketch Monkeydactyl the moment it first heard its nickname, it would have gladly shown us its ability to freely bend the rest of its fingers too. But many scientists believe that the fossil of Monkeydactyl's hand could just be poorly preserved, or the dinosaur's finger might be broken. Paleontologists argued even more about Gorgonops, an extinct genus of saber-toothed therapsids. Firstly, scientists were confused by the fact that the animal looked like a mammal, but its brain resembled that of modern reptiles. And secondly, most paleontologists believe Gorgonops was a fully terrestrial animal and walked in a confident, semi-upright gait. But what if we underestimated the extinct animal again, and its gait was, in fact, even more confident and upright? Then it would definitely look like this. Or not. Do you think it's overkill? Then try to disprove it. I'm sure there's only one thing on your mind right now. These creatures are so weird that it's hard to believe they really existed. But the truth is that only one of them is a figment of my imagination. Can you guess which one? I'm waiting for your versions in the comments.